Welcome to the first Voila cooking class. So today we are going to cook Pomodoro pasta, where we are going to prepare the sauce on the oven, so the flavor is more intense and you have less work. And then we are just going to boil the pasta and putting all of this together to a delicious Pomodoro pasta. So first you need to have your ingredients. 1 onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 4 small carrots, 1 pepper, pumpkin, and any type of canned tomato. I'm using rigatoni pasta, and apart from this you'll need olive oil, balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper. So the difference in this course is that you are going to learn the skills that you need to then learn any single step. Throughout the course, you are going to level up your skills and learn each skill at a higher level throughout the journey. So we'll start by turning on our oven at 225 degrees Celsius with heat coming from top, bottom, and if you have fan. We need to have our oven very hot when we put everything there so the process is faster. So first tip is, if you can put something wet below your board, it will stay steady instead of moving. So we are going to start by preparing all our vegetables and add it to a tray with the olive oil, balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper. First we are going to chop the onion. In this class we are going to have all the vegetables cut very roughly, since they are going to be baked and then blend. So to start cutting the onion, divide it from top to bottom, cut the tops, peel the first layer that is too hard to eat, so you should always take it out. And then this is always the safest way to cut. So normally, if we are going to chop this very thinly, we are going to start by having a knife like this. If you have a smaller one, it also works. And to make sure that you are cutting it in a safe position, you should put your fingers in this way with the fingertips behind and just put your knife close to your fingers. And then the movement is put first this part of the knife and then just slowly let the weight of the knife do the job. Today we are not going to have to do this because we are going to cut the vegetables roughly. So, but you can still apply this technique. So we are going to start by just cutting each half of the onion in 4 and then by half and add it to the tray. The same here. Then we are going to move to the peppers. So the peppers have seeds inside. The important thing is that you start by cutting it along this line so you don't get the seeds, because the seeds are stuck with the top. So if you do this and just slightly go with the knife, you see that all the part that you don't want is here. Now you can just take it off. So again, with the same movement, chop roughly your peppers. Again on the other direction, so it roasts faster, and add it to the tray. Same here. Now the pumpkin, we will do the same. So take out the outside. You can also cook with it, but today we are going to take it out so it cooks faster. This part is when normally you have the seeds. This one doesn't have it anymore. Discard this part. And now again. So today we are cutting everything around two finger size. So everything should be more or less of the same size so it cooks evenly on the oven. So here we can add this part to the tray, and these ones we can cut it in half. We are almost there, only the carrots and the garlics are missing. So let's start by cutting the tops of the carrots. So if you have something like this, it is much faster to just peel everything, but you can also do it with a knife. You can discard all of this. And we are almost there. So now we just need to chop it in half, so it's faster. So again, same movement. And then just chop each one like in 3. They are small carrots. If you have bigger ones, you might want to cut it more than 3 times. Like this one, we are going to chop it 4 times. But again, everything is going to the oven, so we are okay. So now we have our tray with the onions, carrots, peppers, and pumpkin. We are going to add the 3 cloves of garlic without being chopped. So they are going to cook inside and going to be much sweeter. We are now going to add 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And now a good pinch of salt. So you should take a little bit of salt, like this. It's a good pinch of salt, and let's start spreading it. And the amount that you are putting, it should be something like, if you go in this speed that you are being able to spread in all tray. So now just give it a good mix. You can also add pepper. And it's ready to go to the oven. So it should be now there for 25 minutes, and halfway through we should give it a good mix. So reminding is that the oven is at 225 Celsius with the heat from top, bottom and fan. So now we will have 25 minutes. What we need to do will be to add this and blend after and prepare the pasta. So to prepare the pasta, this pasta takes 10 to 12 minutes to cook, and it's really important that the water is really boiling before you add the pasta to it. So the next step that we are going to do is to start boiling the water. It should take around 5 minutes to be at the right temperature. This tomato sauce that we are preparing today, that will be much stronger and more flavorful than just a normal pan tomato sauce, will then be used in other recipes. So this amount that we gave you should be enough for 4 meals, let's say. So 2 of them half of it we are going to use it today, and the other half we are going to freeze it for the next recipes. We have a pan, water, should be like 3/4 because it's going to boil, and put it on high heat until it starts boiling. So as you can see, the water is now boiling. Since you can see bubbles on the surface. So now you just need to add some salt, a good pinch of salt. Don't worry because it's not going to stay on your plate. We are going to discard most of the water. And we are now ready to add the pasta. So for 2 people you should more or less use of this type of pasta, rigatoni, you should use more or less 1.5 hands. Like one, here, two, and three for 2 people. And now we just need to stir it a bit, once or twice during the next 15 minutes, and then we are going to be ready for the next step. So the vegetables have been on the oven for the last 10-15 minutes. So we are going now to take them out, give them a good stir, and then add them back for 10 more minutes. As you can see, they start to become a little bit caramelized. It's exactly what we want. So just separate the onions. Now we are going to add them back for 15 more minutes. So as you can see, now they are much more caramelized. How do we know if it's cooked? And depending on the oven, we might need to put them back a little bit more. We don't want it to be burned, so if one part is too burned, we should take it out, like this one. But how do we know if it's ready to go? We just take, for instance, one of the biggest pieces, and we try to go through this with a spoon. If it's easy, it's ready. You should try this on a pumpkin and also on a carrot. So the carrot still needs a little bit more time. The garlics are ready. So what you need to the garlics is use a spoon and just take out and discard the peeling. And this part, you just smash it. And you have to do this to your 3 garlics. You can also use a fork if you think it's easier. And now mix everything together. So use your spoon just to cut the biggest pieces to help it cook faster. And now we are just going to put everything on a pan, and it will cook the rest there. Take another pan, add everything to the pan. And now add your peeled tomato, canned peeled tomato. The easiest the better. Then, so you can use all the rest that is here, just put a little bit of water and then throw it back here. And now, 1 tomato puree. So this one is a 200 grams tomato puree, and the peeled tomato were 400 grams. Again, cut the top and do the same, all the rest. And it also help for the sauce to don't be so thick. So now add an extra tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. It will help to contrast with the acidity of the tomato. Just use a spoon to smash the peeled tomatoes. And now what we are going to do is, there are 3 minutes left for the pasta. We are just going to cook this tomato while it's boiling. Put it on medium heat. While it's boiling, we wait 3 more minutes, and then we are going to blend everything. So the pasta is almost there. Now turn the heat of the tomato paste to high heat so it can start boiling. Be careful because it's going to split if it's too hot. now it's boiling. So we are going to wait 3 minutes and blend it. In the meantime, the pasta should be ready. So let's see. Let's test one. So we have one pasta. Just take a knife. And see if it cuts easily with the pasta. So to be al dente, it should not be super soft. So we can see that it's still a little bit too raw in the middle. That's how we want it. If you like the pasta softer, you should just for 2 or 3 more minutes. Just turn down to low, medium heat the tomato, so to 5 in this type of stove. So I tried the pasta, and for me it needs 2 or 3 more minutes. If you are Italian, it might be okay for you. Just try one and see if it's good or not. We are still going to add this to the sauce, so it's going to still cook a little bit more. So while the pasta cooks for 1 more minute, we are going to blend this. So turn the heat off and move this to the bench. This pan in medium heat. This was the pasta pan, so you don't need to use another one. Medium 4. And just add, I would say, depending how much you like it, but 3 of these big spoons per person. Maybe 4 in total, so 2 per person. So you get all the rest of the sauce for your next recipe. If you want a little bit more, you can just add it. Good. So now we are going to add the pasta. And now mix it around. So all this delicious sauce goes to the pasta. You can add a little bit more pepper or chili powder if you like it more spicy. So cooking is all about adjusting the skills that you learn to then the food that you like. If you know the skills, you will know how to cook the food that you like. We are going to add 2 or 3 tablespoons from the pasta water that we saved. I think 3 should be enough. So it makes it easier for the pasta to be mixed together with all this delicious sauce. So now we are ready to plate. You can plate it on a tray, or in a big tray, or in your individual plates. I'll do it in a tray. Here you have your pasta. Just, oops, we'll clean that later. Great. So now it's up to your imagination to make it and add whatever you want. So now you can add a little bit of cheese. You can add whatever cheese you will have, just to give flavor and a salty bit. I will use a little bit of mozzarella and a little bit of cheddar cheese. You can just use one or don't use any. It will still be good, but I like a little bit. So just 1/4 of a mozzarella. Use your fingers to just destroy the mozzarella. Just a little bit of cheddar cheese. This one is stronger. It should be okay. If you like cheese, you'll be fine. Otherwise, just don't add it. And now add basil. Should be what you should add to this recipe. But you can add also any other herb, fresh or not, and finish it with some drops of olive oil. And voila, here you have your final dish. Pomodoro pasta, your first recipe. You learned how to chop, how to roast vegetables, how to boil pasta the right way, how to do a delicious sauce, and now how to do a good plating and having a bunch of flavor at the end, according with your taste. That's the most important. Hope to see you on the next recipe, where you're going to level up the skills that you already learned here and learn a few others. So at the end of these 4 recipes, you are going to be a master that can cook whatever you like. Thank you.